Now, TY become GST Accounting Law and Procedure Unit 1, Concept of Supply Case Studies on Supply, Schedule 1 and Schedule 3. So that we are going to discuss in today's lecture. There are different case studies which are given. In first case study, Mr. A transfers 1000 debenture of ABC Limited to Mr. B for a consideration of rupees 4,75,000 on 10th of July 2020. So now with in this you have to say whether it is a supply of goods or services, and if yes, why, if no, why. On 12 July 2020, X transfer a plot of land situated in Madurai to Y for a consideration of rupees 40 lakh. So now whether it is considered as a supply or not. Second example. Third, Z takes a housing loan of rupees 1.5 crore from Kotak Mahindra Bank. Rate of interest is 7.9%. Loan is repayable after 3 years. Rupees 10,000 being documentation charge is payable by Z at the time of taking loan. Interest would be part of EMI, which will be payable on 10th day of every month. Now Mr. L, a tax consultant, renders service to his client located in Kashmir for 1 lakh. So he is located in Kashmir. So now in earlier provision, Kashmir, whatever provisions of tax are applicable to, it is applicable to whole India except Jammu and Kashmir. But now it is not like that, because GST is also implemented in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir on 8 July 2017. So on the basis of this, you have to say whether it is a supply or not. Mr. Hardev plans to pursue his master study in USA. He receives career consultancy service from a consultant located in USA for rupees 1 lakh. So now whether it will be considered as a supply of service or not. Next one, Mr. Z sells its investment in mutual fund for rupees 2 lakh. Now whether it will be considered as a supply or not. So these are the case studies. Now solutions. First one. What is the first question? First question is Mr. A transfers 1000 debenture of ABC Limited to Mr. B for a consideration of 4,75,000 on 10th July 2020. Here GST is applicable on supply of goods and or services. So जब भी GST कब applicable होता है? When it is a supply of goods or it is a supply of services. If there is a no goods, no services are involved, then it is not considered as a supply, and if it is not a supply, then how can you levy GST? So, and debenture are securities, and you know the definition of goods under section 2 subsection 52, and you know the definition of services under section 2 subsection 102. What is the definition of goods? Goods means every kind of mobile property other than money and securities, including actionable claim, growing crop, grass, things attached to or forming part of the land which are agreed to be severed before supply or under the contract of supply. So this is considered as a definition of goods. In that it is clearly said that security is not a part of a goods. So that is why securities are excluded. Services means everything other than goods, money and securities, but it includes use of money or conversion of money from one form currency or denomination to another form currency or denomination. And for that, if separate consideration is charged, then that on that separate consideration GST will be levied. So that is service. So here also security is not included. Therefore, transfer of debenture by A Limited is not subject to, this is very important, not subject to GST, because security is not covered under this category. Now next one. Second one is what? On 12th July 2020, X transfer a plot of land situated in Madurai to Y for a consideration of rupees 40 lakh. Now he is transferring land, and land is what? Land is immobile property, and I already told in the definition of goods under section 2 subsection 52, every kind of mobile property is included, but immobile property is not included. So transfer of plot of land, that is transfer of immobile property, is not subject to GST. So here also immobile property is not included in the definition of goods under section 2 subsection 52, क्योंकि गुड्स की डेफिनेशन में ओनली मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टीज इंक्लूड होती है, मूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी, इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी इंक्लूड नहीं होती. सो दैट इज वाई, एंड लैंड इज ए इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी, सो दैट इज वाई उसको हमने यहाँ पे एक्सक्लूड किया है. जेट टेक्स अ हाउसिंग लोन ऑफ रुपीज 1.5 करोड़ फ्रॉम कोटक महिंद्रा बैंक and rate of interest is 7.9%. Loan is repayable after 3 years. Rupees 10,000 being documentation charge is payable by Z at the time of taking loan. Now interest would be payable, be part of EMI in equated monthly installment, which will be payable on 10th day of every month. So here also taking a loan from a bank is not a supply of goods or services. GST is not applicable. However, documentation charge of rupees 10,000 is subject to GST. Whatever documentation charge he has paid on that GST amount is applicable. I told you when I taught you the definition of services, in that it is clearly said that services means everything other than goods, money and securities, but it includes use of money or conversion of money from one form, currency or denomination to another form, currency or denomination. And for that, if separate consideration is charged, then that on that separate consideration GST will be levied. Here what you are doing, you are taking loan and for that some separate charge is applicable, so on that charge GST will be leviable. But just taking a loan from a bank is not considered as a supply of goods or services. So that is why GST is not levied on total value, but GST will be levied only on documentation charges. Now next one, fourth one is Mr. L, a tax consultant, renders service to his client located in Kashmir for rupees 1 lakh. So whether it will be, so देखो सारा condition satisfy, consultant है, that means service है, and located in Kashmir. So Kashmir is a taxable territory. अब टैक्सेबल टेरिटरी है, पहले नहीं था, अब तो टैक्सेबल टेरिटरी है, तो इसमें कोई ऐसा कुछ ऐसा प्रॉब्लम तो है ही नहीं. सो टैक्सेबल सप्लाई एज जीएसटी इज एप्लीकेबल इवन इन द स्टेट ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर. एंड जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में जीएसटी एप्लीकेबल हुआ था 8 जुलाई 2017 को, याद रखना स्टूडेंट्स. नाउ नेक्स्ट वन, मिस्टर हरदेव प्लान्स टू परस्यू हिज मास्टर स्टडी इन यूएसए. He received career consultancy service from a consultant located in USA for rupees 1 lakh. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, importation of service taxable under section 7 subsection 1b, import plus consideration. So import plus consideration both are included, so it is 100%. section 7 subsection 1b, it is a taxable, and so that is why GST is applicable. Now next one, last one, Mr. Z sells its investment in mutual fund for rupees 2 lakh. तो ये भी क्या हुआ, it does not qualify as a supply of goods or services because ये securities हुआ, because he is selling his investment in mutual fund, and securities are not covered into the definition of goods also and into the definition of services also. So both are not covered. So that is why last one, sixth one, is not considered as a supply. So these are the case studies, practical case studies. With the help of that, you can understand the concept in a very easy manner. Case studies of Schedule 1. Schedule 1 means what? There is no consideration. The Z Limited transfer a machine without consideration to its holding company, A Limited. So now what Z Limited is doing? Z Limited is transferring machine without consideration to its holding company, A Limited. Now input tax credit was availed by Z Limited when the machine was purchased. Will it be treated as a supply? देखो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, मैंने आपको ये समझाया भी था कि whenever you are purchasing machine, at that time, say for example machine is purchased for rupees 5 lakh. Now on that GST is, let us take 50,000. Now if you have claimed ITC is claimed for rupees 50,000. Now what happens, now these 5 lakh machine of rupees 5 lakh is transferred, it is transferred now without consideration. If it is transferred without consideration, then will it be treated as a supply? Will GST leviable or not? The answer is big yes, and it is considered as a supply because it is a case of permanent transfer or disposal of business asset by a taxable person to a taxable or non-taxable person where the supplier has availed the input tax credit is treated as a supply schedule 1 even if supply is made without consideration. Therefore, transfer of machine by Z Limited to its holding company A Limited will be treated as a supply and GST will be applicable. C Limited holds 30,000 shares in A Limited and 25,000 shares in B Limited. Share capital of Messrs A Limited is 1 lakh equity share of rupees 10 each. Share capital of B Limited, Messrs B Limited is 80,000 equity shares of 10 each. If transaction is made between A Limited and B Limited, will it be qualified as a supply? अब यहाँ पे आपको समझना पड़ेगा थोड़ा ट्रांजेक्शन को इस तरह से दिया है कि देखो सी लिमिटेड होल्ड करता है 30,000 इक्विटी शेयर इन ए लिमिटेड एंड 25,000 शेयर्स इन बी लिमिटेड. सी के पास 30,000 शेयर्स है ए लिमिटेड का एंड 25,000 शेयर्स है बी लिमिटेड का. अब ए लिमिटेड का टोटल कितना कैपिटल है 1 लाख. अब 1 लाख का 30,000 शेयर तो इसका पास ही है सी लिमिटेड के. दैट मीन सी लिमिटेड कितना होल्ड करता है 30%. ओके एंड जो ए लिमिटेड बी लिमिटेड है उसका कितना शेयर होल्ड करता है वो 25,000 शेयर. अब ये हो गया 31.25%. दैट मीन्स व्हाट सी इज होल्डिंग मोर देन 25% शेयर्स of A Limited and B Limited. ये पॉइंट बना. Once again I am repeating, C Limited is holding more than 25% share of A Limited and B Limited. So that is why now any transaction between A Limited and B Limited will be qualified as a transaction between related parties, related person. Now if it is done without any consideration, if A Limited transfers something to B Limited without taking any consideration, then also it is considered as a supply because third person, that is C Limited, is holding shares of A Limited and B Limited and it is more than 25%. So that is why now we can say that A Limited and B Limited are related person. As per activities specified in Schedule 1, any person directly or indirectly holds 25% or more of outstanding voting stock or shares of both of them, then they are said to be related person defined by explanation to section 15. Since C Limited holds more than 25% shares in the company A Limited and B Limited, they will be considered as a related person. Consequently, transaction made between A Limited and B Limited will be qualified as a supply. So मैंने आपको पहले भी बोला कि अब A Limited और B Limited के बीच में कोई भी ट्रांजेक्शन होगा without consideration, then also it will be considered as a supply because once again finally I am repeating, C Limited is holding more than 25% of share of A Limited and B Limited, so that is why they become the related person and any transaction takes place between related person will be considered as a supply. Messrs C Limited has a 3 branches X, Y and Z in different states. X in Telangana has run out of stock and Y from Andhra Pradesh transfer its excess stock. Is it supply of goods? GST will be levied. Does it make any difference if branch X and Y are located in the Gujarat and X transfers its excess stock to Y? If same person have a different branch in different state, so as per section 25 subsection 4 they are considered as a distinct person and any transaction takes place between distinct person, even they are same person actually because X, Y and Z, these 3 branch Who is the owner of this all the three branch? Messer C Limited. He is the only owner for three branches. A person who has obtained or is required to obtain more than one registration, whether in one state or UT or more than one state or UT, shall in respect of each registration be treated as a distinct person. So X and Y will be treated as a distinct person as per section 25 subsection 4. It is a supply of goods and liable to IGST. यानी देखो यहाँ पे X is in तेलंगाना स्टॉक है एंड आंध्र प्रदेश वो ट्रांसफर किया. सो X एंड Y दोनों भले एक ही ओनर है उसका, बट देन ऑल्सो एज पर सेक्शन 25 सब सेक्शन 4 दे आर नोन एज ए डिस्टिंक्ट पर्सन. यहाँ पे लिखा है देखो डिस्टिंक्ट पर्सन. इन द आईज ऑफ लॉ दे आर नोन एज ए डिस्टिंक्ट पर्सन. सो दैट इज वाई एनी ट्रांजेक्शन टेक्स प्लेस फ्रॉम X to Y or Y to X or X to Z or Z to X, it will be considered as a supply. तो अगर अलग अलग स्टेट हुआ तो दे आर नोन एज ए डिस्टिंक्ट पर्सन. इन वन स्टेट और यूटी है या मोर देन वन स्टेट और यूटी है, तो फॉर ईच सच रजिस्ट्रेशन, मान लो कि उसने गुजरात में ही अलग अलग जगह पे रजिस्ट्रेशन लिया है, ओके, तो देन इट विल बी ट्रीटेड एज ए डिस्टिंक्ट पर्सन, क्योंकि उसने रजिस्ट्रेशन अलग अलग लिया है. अब रजिस्ट्रेशन ही अलग अलग लेता है तो फिर आप एक्स से वाई या वाई से जेड कुछ भी ट्रांसफर होता है विदाउट मनी तो उस पे जीएसटी लगेगा. अगर सेम स्टेट होगा तो सीजीएसटी एसजीएसटी लगेगा. अगर डिफरेंट स्टेट होगा तो आईजीएसटी एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा. स्टूडेंट्स, पोल एंड कॉर्पोरेशन एंगेजेस होंडा कार लिमिटेड एज एन एजेंट टू सेल द कार्स ऑन इट्स बिहाफ. Honda Cars Limited has supplied 50 cars to the showroom of Paul and Corporation located in Chennai. Is it supply of goods? GST will be levied. तो यहाँ पे आपको समझना पड़ेगा. देखो, सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स बाय प्रिंसिपल टू द एजेंट. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स बाय प्रिंसिपल टू एन एजेंट और बाय एन एजेंट टू द प्रिंसिपल विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ सप्लाई ऑफ इवन इफ विदाउट कंसिडरेशन. द सेड ट्रांजेक्शन आर लेविएबल अंडर जीएसटी. Supply of cars by Honda Cars Limited to Paul and Corporation will qualify as a supply and same is leviable to GST. क्योंकि देखो पोल एंड कॉर्पोरेशन जो है वो क्या कर रहा है, होंडा कार का सेलिंग कर रहा है, वो एजेंट है उसका. तो होंडा कार जो कार लिमिटेड था उसने कार सेल करने के लिए किसको दिया, पोल एंड कॉर्पोरेशन को दिया. तो ऑब्वियसली इट इज ए सप्लाई बिकॉज पोल एंड कॉर्पोरेशन इज सेलिंग कार्स ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ होंडा कार्स लिमिटेड. तो ये ट्रांजेक्शन हुआ प्रिंसिपल टू एजेंट. सो एनीवे ये प्रिंसिपल टू एजेंट या और एजेंट टू प्रिंसिपल एनीवे हो रहा है ट्रांजेक्शन, देन इट विल बी कंसिडर एज ए सप्लाई. नाउ नेक्स्ट वन, एस लिमिटेड ऑफ मुंबई इंपोर्ट्स बिजनेस सपोर्ट सर्विस फ्रॉम इट्स हेड ऑफिस लोकेटेड इन यूएसए. द हेड ऑफिस हैज रेंडर्ड सच सर्विस फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट टू इट्स ब्रांच ऑफिस. नाउ हेड ऑफिस इज लोकेटेड इन यूएसए. This is head office and branch office is located in India, and here service is provided from head office to branch office at a free of cost. So here also consideration is not involved. So whether it will be supplied, obviously yes, as per schedule 1 it will be considered as a supply. It is a importation of service without consideration. Import of service by a taxable person from a related person or from his establishment located outside India in the course or furtherance of business shall be treated as a supply. यानी उसने क्या किया, बिजनेस पर्पस के लिए ही वो सर्विस अवेल किया था. सो एज पर शेड्यूल 1 तो ये सप्लाई माना जाता है. सर्विस इज रिसीव्ड बाय एस लिमिटेड विल क्वालिफाई एज सप्लाई इवन दो द हेड ऑफिस हैज नॉट चार्ज एनीथिंग फ्रॉम इट. कुछ भी चार्ज नहीं किया फिर भी उसको जीएसटी लगाना पड़ेगा. अब देखो कौन सी वैल्यू पे लगेगा वो आपको बाद में सोचना है, उसका वैल्यूएशन का चैप्टर है उसमें सोचना है. तो आपको यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, सर्विस इंपोर्ट किया आपने, यस, फिर उस पे आपने कंसिडरेशन लिया, नो. विल इट बी कंसिडर एज ए सप्लाई, आंसर इज सप्लाई है, यस. तो जीएसटी लगेगा, ऑब्वियसली जीएसटी विल बी लेविएबल, आईजीएसटी एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा इसमें. अब शेड्यूल 3 नेगेटिव लिस्ट पे ये है. अब ये सारा नेगेटिव लिस्ट पे शेड्यूल बना है. X Limited received a sum of rupees 5 lakh from his employer on premature termination of his contract of employment. प्री मैच्योर टर्मिनेट कर दिया उसको और 5 लाख मिला. So this 5 lakh will be considered as a supply. X needs your advice as to whether such receipt is liable to GST or not. Answer is no. It is not supply, not a supply at all. As per section 7 subsection 2(1) of CGST Act 2017, supply excludes services provided by the employee to employer in the course of employment covered under Schedule 3 of CGST Act and 2017. Hence, amount so paid would not be chargeable to GST because it is paid under the terms of employment. So that is why it is not leviable to GST as it is not a supply under Schedule 3. Mr. Y is a lecturer employee in the Saurashtra University. He has sat a question paper of GST subject in the same university as a part of his duty as per the employment contract. Now, whether it will be considered as a supply? No, it does not be qualified as a supply as it is a part of a Schedule 3 transaction. पेपर बनाना, लेक्चर प्रोवाइड करना, ऐसा कुछ भी काम करता है तो वो इट इज टू बी प्रोवाइडेड अंडर द टर्म्स ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड फॉर दैट इफ ही इज गेटिंग रेम्यूनरेशन आल्सो then also it is not leviable to GST. Messrs Nilambar Builder sells residential flat to Mr. Y for rupees 20 lakhs. अब यहाँ पे ये लाइन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है स्टूडेंट्स. कंप्लीशन सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट इज ऑलरेडी रिसीव्ड बिफोर सेल ऑफ रेसिडेंशियल फ्लैट. कंप्लीशन सर्टिफिकेट मिल गया है. Now, Messrs Nilambar Builder sells a residential flat to Mr. Y for rupees 20 lakh and completion certificate of the project is already received before sale of residential flat. So it does not qualify as a supply as it is a part of Schedule 3 transaction. Negative list में आ जाएगा. But if same transaction नीचे दिया गया है उसी का भाई दिया है, देखो, if Messrs Nilambar Builder sells a residential flat to Mr. Y for rupees 20 lakh, completion certificate of the project is yet to be received at the time of sale of residential flat. That means it is not received yet. So that means whether it will be qualified as a supply? Now, yes, answer is yes, it will be qualified as a supply because completion certificate यहाँ पे नहीं मिला. तो ये important चीज है, whether he has received a completion certificate of the project of the residential flat or not. If yes, then no supply. It comes under the negative list Schedule 3. If completion certificate of the project is yet to be received at the time of sale of residential flat, then if answer is no, that means it considered as a supply and then GST will be leviable on it. Students, ये सारे केस स्टडी है जो आपको बहुत यूजफुल है स्टूडेंट्स, आपको ये समझने के लिए. कंपोजिट सप्लाई एंड मिक्स सप्लाई के बारे में एक दोस्त केस स्टडी है. Mr. A, being a dealer in laptop, sold laptop bag along with the laptop to a customer for rupees 55,000. Rate of GST on laptop is 18% and laptop bag is 28%. What would be the rate of tax leviable? पहला क्वेश्चन है. And also find the GST liability. अब सिंपल है. कंपोजिट सप्लाई में क्या रूल है? कंपोजिट सप्लाई में एक रूल है जो मैंने आपको समझाया था. इन कंपोजिट सप्लाई रेट ऑफ principal supply will apply to entire supply. ये गोल्डन रूल है, याद रखो. अब इसमें प्रिंसिपल सप्लाई क्या है? तो लैपटॉप बैग इज ए प्रिंसिपल सप्लाई और लैपटॉप इज ए प्रिंसिपल सप्लाई. आंसर इज प्रिंसिपल सप्लाई इज लैपटॉप. This is the principal supply. Laptop bag is not a principal supply. So on laptop bag rate is 28% and on laptop rate is 18%. So which rate is applicable? So rate of 18% is applicable on whole supply. पूरे supply पे 18% applicable होगा students. ये आपको याद रखना है students. So rate of, once again, this golden line you should remember, rate of principal supply will apply to the entire supply. So अब उसका tax liability भी calculate कर लेते हैं. This can be asked in 2 marks also, this type of questions. If the laptop bag is supplied along with the laptop in the ordinary course of business, the principal supply is that of the laptop and bag is an ancillary. Bag is an ancillary thing, not a principal one. Therefore, it is a composite supply, and the rate of tax would that as applicable to the laptop. Which rate will be applicable? The rate which is applicable to laptop will applicable to the whole supply. Hence, applicable rate of GST is 18%, rupees 55,000. So if you make 55,000, 18% of 55,000, then CGST will come 4950, SGST will come 4950. So very simple example, students.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Example on mixed supply. XYZ is a manufacturer of food items supplied a package consisting of sweet, GST rate 18%, chocolates GST rate 28%. याद रखो, आप देखो GST स्वीट्स पे है 18%, केक्स 28%, ड्राई फ्रूट्स 12%. द प्राइस पर पैकेज इज 500 एंड इज एक्सक्लूसिव ऑफ टैक्सेस. इसमें GST इंक्लूड नहीं है. 10,000 packages were supplied by the company to its dealer. Determine the nature of supply and its taxability. It is a mixed supply. Why? Because they are not naturally bundled. इसमें naturally bundle का element missing है. And if it is a mixed supply, what is the golden rule for here? Rate. इसमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि प्रिंसिपल सप्लाई का. इसमें ऐसा रूल है, हाईएस्ट
highest rate.
रेट, वेरी गुड, हाईएस्ट रेट विल apply to entire supply. This rule is applicable. So 3-4 things you have to remember. It is not a naturally bundle. These items can be sold separately also, and which rate is applicable, highest rate will apply to entire supply. This supply will be treated as a mixed supply, since in this case each of the goods in the package have individual identity and can be supplied separately, but are deliberately supplied conjointly for a single consolidated price. The tax rate applicable in case of mixed supply would be tax attributable to that of mixed supply, which is the highest rate of tax. रिमेंबर, एंड यहाँ पे आपको फोकस करना है हाईएस्ट रेट ऑफ टैक्स अमंग्स द सप्लाई फॉर्मिंग पार्ट ऑफ द मिक्स सप्लाई. देयरफॉर द पैकेज विल बी चार्जेबल एट ए हाईएस्ट रेट, दैट इज 28% ऑफ GST, बिकॉज दिस इज द हाईएस्ट रेट. नाउ उसका कैलकुलेशन कर लेते हैं. द टैक्स लायबिलिटी विल बी एज फॉलोज. वैल्यू ऑफ टैक्सेबल सप्लाई पर पैकेज 500, per package value is 500, number of package is 10,000. So if you multiply these two things, you will get 50 lakh. 10,000 into 500, 50 lakh. Now you have to apply 28%. So if 50 lakh into 28%, you will get this answer. Okay, 14 lakh. So total tax liability is 14 lakh. This can be asked in 2 marks, students. Like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos like this.